this mic, here I am, an autistic and a visual man, rocking with the critical plan. Express myself and learn how to stand in a land with neurotypicals will understand and can't be difficult. Teachers will be me all the time.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of MCJ's Rizzism. It's me, MC Josiah, and I got my co-host here, Tim. We are going to give you a good episode today about education and employment and with people with ASD and autism. But before we dive into that, we'll give you some brief updates. How's everything going with you, Tim?
No, not bad. Not bad. Yeah, not bad at all. I ended up doing a 24-hour work day yesterday, coming out of a creative block. I'm out of it. But I got more done overnight than I feel like I've done in days. So, how are you?
I'm doing fine, sir. Just been taking it day by day, working hard on my album and other content.
Yeah, you're close to mastering.
Yeah, I am.
All the songs are written?
Yeah.
And they're all recorded?
Pretty much, yeah. We're just in the post-production part right now.
Yeah? And your equipment's holding up?
Pretty good, yeah. Hold on, my phone. Sorry, y'all. I don't know what that was.
Is it important?
No.
No.
I don't even know what's going on. Yeah.
Spammers. So you're gonna release your album a couple of weeks, a month? What are we looking at?
I think I'm really only looking at about a couple more weeks, maybe a few more weeks of audio work, and then we'll be ready for mastering.
And how long is that process?
The mastering process will probably be another month. So if I was to add up all the time, we're looking at maybe 2-3 months at minimum till we have an actual release date and everything's ready to go.
Right. And you have music out there already, right?
Oh, yeah, I
that
do,
viewers
yeah.
can check out.
Yeah.
In the meantime,
Yeah.
he's good at it. It's gonna be a good album, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a really good album.
And if you're local to the Abilene area, MC Josiah routinely performs at what?
At this open mic at this venue.
Open mic here at Neon Parrot Live?
Neon Parrot Live, yes.
And what day of the week is that?
Every Sunday, sign-ups start at 7, and the open mic itself starts around 8.
Who hosts that?
Terry Knight.
Yeah.
The one and only Terry Knight.
The Queen.
The Queen, that's right. Yep. And then you also do karaoke?
Yeah, I'm do karaoke's around town. I find myself coming to the karaoke here almost every Tuesday midday that Sam hosts.
Yeah, Sam's our executive producer behind Neon Parrot Live.
Yeah,
And tell us about that, Sam.
tell us about it.
About what? The karaoke?
About karaoke, yeah.
The senior karaoke every Tuesday afternoon.
Yeah.
It's that's basically what it is. Every Tuesday afternoon, we gather around 1-ish is when they start signing up, and then we try to start the music at 1:30 if we can. Then sorry, I'm trying to do multiple things at the same time. Yeah, it's mostly seniors from the Senior Citizen Center. And they come down, and it's a good time. They love to sing.
Is it open to anybody, or
Yeah.
would you have to be a senior?
You don't have to be a senior. We just call it that so you're prepared.
Right. So it's a fun time had by all?
It's a fun time had by all.
Awesome. And how long does it roughly go?
We do about 2 rounds right now.
So is that about an hour?
It's about an hour and a half, 2 hours. Depends on how
something
long
like
it takes
that.
us to sign up. And
Cool.
Yeah, when I come here and do karaoke, my 2 most common songs I like singing for the elderly are Earth, Wind & Fire song September and Black Sabbath song Iron Man.
Iron Man?
Yeah.
Very cool.
And
Do they get it?
Oh, yeah, they get it. They
they-
really like it.
They really like it?
Yeah.
you know, the old people of today were like into that music, Tim.
Yeah, they were. The old people today were
Yeah.
like... the
Well, I mean, isn't Black Sabbath a
'cause,
little new
Ozzy
for them?
just died because he was an old person.
Yeah, he was like
True enough.
78 or somewhere in his late
So,
70s,
you know,
yeah.
that's kind of put that in perspective.
Yeah,
We're
wow.
the middle-aged people now.
Right.
I'm on my way to being a middle-aged adult in just a few years.
Yep.
So yeah.
Well, in just a few years, you're still in your 20s, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm 28.
Yep. I'm ancient.
Yo.
I'm 50 this year.
50. Whoa.
Yeah. Don't want to be old like that guy.
You're almost double my age.
I am.
It's kind of unavoidable unless you,
Yeah.
unless you just die.
I'm old enough to be your daddy.
Or if they invent cryogenic tubes where you can like freeze yourself and not age.
Right.
Some crazy.
I like how you just like said daddy and just started chuckling. Yeah, I'm old enough to be your daddy.
I'm old enough to be your dad.
Oh my goodness.
So what we're talking about today, education and
Education and
employment.
employment. Yes, I wanted to build off the last topics that we were talking about, which I think we did 2 or 3 episodes on special interests. So I wanted to build off that into like what those special interests mean for autistic people and how they can translate into more real world things like education, like high school, college, and then eventually into the workforce or into the adult world where you have to, work to make your own money and provide just for yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, increase your independence.
Yes.
So, take us.
Alrighty.
Take us
So
there.
I wanted to start with some statistics here. With high school statistics. According to data from here, I'm gonna put that there so my face ain't covering it. According to data from a study done in 2019, compared to students with other learning disabilities, students with ASD were less likely to engage in risk-taking behaviors, use health services, and the writing center in colleges compared to their peers. Oh yeah, and compared to their peers with other disabilities, people with ASD are less likely to take steps to prepare for college while in high school and are more likely to enroll in 2-year colleges than 4-year colleges, with the 2-year college enrollments of autistics being at about 32% and the 4-year enrollment of autistics being at about 17%.
Wow, that's interesting. So what are your takeaways?
My takeaways on that is it describes a lot of the elements we see in many different individuals, including myself, with ASD. Like when I first see that part, less likely to engage in risk taking. You know what I mean? There's a few reasons for that. Like me as an autistic person, I'm less likely to take risks that I'm not able to really predict the outcome to as well. Because for one, I'm not able to absorb the consequence if I fell from taking the risk as well as, say, other people out there because of the increased sensitivity.
Interesting.
Yeah. And because of that, I have to be more careful on which risk I take. And at the same time, it also comes with the increased intellectualism as well, the increased mind's ability to process more logical data. Because on top of not wanting to take those risks that could have bigger consequences if you fail with them, you also think more logically too. You're thinking, wow, why would I do that action when there's no good results in it, when it's a dumb action, you know what I mean? And that's how, in my younger years, I used to think about that a lot because I lived in Houston and Spring Branch, and those areas were like the ghetto, you know what I mean? But one of the ways I avoid a lot of trouble in the ghetto was I was always in a mindset where I didn't want to take the risk that a lot of others around me were taking to be a part of the more popular peer groups in the area, like the gangs and stuff. Not only did I see the kind of stupidity in the whole gang idea for someone like me, but I, at the same time, didn't want to take the risk in going that route, like the risk in getting in trouble, getting endangered and all that. So most of the time as a kid, the risk I did take was risking like rapping, art, music, areas where I could take risk, but the consequences wouldn't be as bad. And at the same time, if there were the consequences wouldn't be as bad and the results would be better for me, you know what I mean? That was always my philosophy, at least from a teenager going into adulthood, you know what I mean?
Yeah, greater chance of success.
Greater chance of success and the less punishment you get from the risk. And even outside of autism, this is just kind of a common sense way of thinking. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know if I'd say I'm risk averse,
Yeah.
but I am very slow. I tend to be slow at taking the risk because I do everything I can to take an educated risk.
Yeah.
So if I'm not familiar, like if I'm not aware of the outcomes, or I haven't paid attention to the possible downside of a risk, then, I mean, the burn is hard to
Yeah,
hard to
definitely.
absorb if I'm not careful.
Yeah, it is. It's real hard to absorb. You know what I mean? That's
I do envy those that are not that way and live by risk taking.
yeah. I don't like. I try my best not to live by risk taking. Like everything I do, I just try to really calculate out. At least everything big that is. Smaller steps, I'm not as good at calculating out. Like I tend to be real clumsy and stuff. Tend to be like clumsy, and sometimes I lose focus on things. But in more important things, I tried my best to be more focused and in line. You know what I mean, and not take those risks that I don't know what the outcomes will be. You know what I mean, and that's just. And let me see what else I had. And using health services. Now, in my early years, I guess one thing that was different for me versus this little statistic right here was I actually wasn't afraid to reach out to health services early on.
Health services?
Yeah, like I actually remember when I was in elementary school and a lot of middle school, I was going to the nurse's office, always getting counseling, stuff like that. I think everything for me in health services took a turn when I went into foster care for a few months. Bunch of stuff happened. None of it was our fault. It was just the system being goofy.
My son, when we got him diagnosed at about 2.5, 3 years old, and health services, was the next 5, 6, 7 years of his life.
Yeah.
He's 16 now. Doesn't utilize many of the health services.
Available to?
Well, he aged out of a lot of them. Like they got him
Yeah.
up to speed. Like he was speech delayed
Yeah.
by a couple of years, and speech therapy got him where he should be, and so he didn't need the services anymore. Other therapies like
Yeah.
physical and what's the other therapy? Physical therapy and my mind, I've forgotten. There's another one, vocational therapy.
Oh,
I guess
yeah.
like motor movements and things like that. And he got to where he needed to be, and so he aged out of that. Still clumsy as ever. But,
Yeah.
but yeah, risk taking. I think that for ASD, they're not like it's a lot harder to absorb the risk. Like you said,
it
like,
is. It is, yeah.
If you fail, how badly can you rebound from the failure?
I think there's a lot of anxiety that goes along with ASD too that just, makes those risks just
Sure.
feel more
Yeah.
bigger.
That's another thing too. Like a lot of things that people with ASD, including myself, when we get into even when sometimes situations aren't as bad, but they feel way worse than what they actually are.
Yeah. I've started
A
employing.
little sensitive.
Yeah, I've started employing my son, whenever he's available for me, a couple hours at a time, and he's doing great. Yeah. But he's very eager to please, and he doesn't want to fail, and I can totally identify. Like he doesn't want to break something, he doesn't want to, do something he shouldn't, and so initiative is hard for him to take because I think there's a risk to initiative.
Yeah, there is.
And it's like, son, just if you see a problem, just take some initiative to fix it as you see fit. Well, I'm giving him the freedom to make mistakes, but at the same time, he totally does not want to make a mistake because in his mind, that reflects how I see him.
I'm still dealing with that a lot.
Oh, for sure. Me too. I mean, the times that I've, we all make mistakes are unavoidable.
Yeah,
They are. They really are.
I heard a quote the other day, and I shared it with my son. A mistake is only a mistake when you don't learn from it.
Yeah.
And, and I followed that up with, son, what does that mean?
Well, I can see it's. I think there's a part missing to that. Like, it is true that a mistake is only a mistake if you don't learn from it. But more than learn from it, take action, responsibility for the mistake.
Sure. Yeah.
But even that, and that's one of the things that gets harder. That's also hard about absorbing, absorbing the impact of a failure. People with ASD is also taking the responsibility of the failure too. Because it's like a cleanup mess, you know what I mean? You have to clean up stuff. You have to you know what I mean? It's like, and for someone with ASD who's more sensitive, but also has social impairments, that it becomes a lot more difficult.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I think we put it on, we internalize the mistake as failure.
Oh yeah, it's like this one book. I think I talked about this on the podcast before. The Subtle Art of, by Mark Manson. That book, it's like the Ring of Fire thinking. That's one of the hardest things to do, but the first thing a lot of people really should do when trying to overcome mistakes and learn from them is not get caught up in the Ring of Fire thinking. Because the Ring of Fire thinking will just paralyze your learning process and trying to learn from a mistake.
I forget what the Ring of Fire thinking is. Can you explain it?
It's the Ring of Fire thinking in a way. It's just it's like where you feel bad about thinking bad or making a mistake. You're like, oh, I made a mistake. Oh, I'm thinking about how I made the mistake. That's wrong. Oh,
why did I have to make that mistake?
Yeah, and it's just, you start looping back and forth in an anxious over thought mindset instead of a problem.
Such a F. I can't do anything right.
Yep.
Yeah.
So would that be what I commonly refer to as a doom loop?
Yeah, it's a doom loop. Yeah, basically Ring of Fire doom loop.
Yep. I just came out of one of them. Yeah. Okay, so I found out of what you read, 2-year versus 4-year college.
Yeah.
I as a undiagnosed, I was diagnosed later.
Yeah.
But as a young adult, undiagnosed, I opted for 2 years at one college and 2 years at another college. So I found that interesting. I accidentally fell into that category.
I struggle bust with education.
Did you?
Yeah, it just didn't, it wasn't in ways that it was evident to get help. They just all chalked it up to, it's just discipline. You don't have discipline.
Right.
Yeah.
Blamed it on me being lazy, because I had the intellect, and I was always a good test taker.
Were you?
Because I figure out the test. I would figure out the formula or the pattern of the test. I knew how to manipulate tests. That's what I was figuring out. I had pretty good intelligence for that.
And that is a skill set that they don't teach.
But regurgitating knowledge, I don't have very good abilities at.
So I think I shared it before. I wanted to be a forensic scientist.
You want to be a forensic scientist?
I wanted to be. As a teenager, I wanted to be a forensic scientist. I was passionate about it.
That would be fascinating.
I wanted to be basically a crime scene investigator. And
CSI.
yeah, exactly.
Tim Palmer.
Yes.
And,
Wait.
Palmer.
Not Palmer. That is a guy on
It
CSI.
is a guy.
That is a character on CSI.
I think
isn't
it is. I think it is. Palmer the geek.
Your last name's close to it.
He might have been Spectrum. Autism Light, maybe. Tim Palmer.
Interesting indeed.
But
Tim Prosser, are you really Tim Palmer in disguise?
I'm cooler than he is.
Obviously.
Yeah. So I wanted to be a forensic scientist. I pursued biology, physics, chemistry for 2 years before university. I aced my labs, failed my exams.
Dang.
Like Fs. I could not respond to a science test.
That's how it got for me in college with the science. Couldn't figure out those tests. It was it was very specific. You had to know and what the material was.
Yep.
But I did really well in chemistry lab. Like I was one of the best in the class.
Like in practical lab, I'd ace them all. I understood what was going on.
When I was in school in general, which I personally never made the college, but I made it to 10th grade in high school, and I remember as school progressed, it got harder and harder, and by 8th grade, I was thinking in my head, I don't think I'm going to make it past 10th grade with the amount of work and how difficult it's getting, because I remember in school, I was always really good at science. Really good at science and history. Math I wasn't good at, not because I couldn't understand it, but because I was missing a lot of the early essentials for math. Like, when I was in early elementary school, the teachers did such a horrible job teaching me math that it caused me to struggle in later grades.
Right.
Yeah.
Something that's a common trait between spectrum, like ASD and is pattern, like
Oh, yeah.
memory, like long-term memory. A lot of artists, like you were saying earlier, it feeds into the hyperfocus or
Yeah.
the special interests and things. Who on earth can remember, all the statistics from the NFL going back to 1948, except a spectrum person.
Yeah, I know, right?
Useless information to the rest of us. But I'm sure there's a line of employment for people, for artists that can do that.
Yeah.
Because they're phenomenal. I mean, it's a superpower if it's harnessed the right way.
Yeah, me, like outside of music stuff, I can tell you like the history of Intel processors going back to the 3 and 486 in detail.
Right.
And how is that useful for a regular conversation? You know what I mean?
Well, it's not, but if you're working for
Intel
a tech company,
yeah, it becomes way more useful.
it becomes way more useful and valuable.
Yeah, and when it comes to the whole statistic, though, looking at the 2 to 4 year college, my input on that is, I think it comes. There's another aspect that kind of pushes autistics to go for 2 years instead of 4 years, and I think one is the social pressure and the overall, like what y'all are talking about, the work pressure being in a college environment. Because in a college environment, you're around, like in a much more complexer social environment, you're taking much more tests, the expectations are much higher. And for an autistic person, it can be much more easier to burn out under those circumstances.
Yeah, so less is more?
Yeah, less is more. So in these cases, an autistic person might choose a 2-year degree so they don't burn out and instead absorb more information that they can go out in the field and use more better. You know what I mean? Because burnout, like I talked about in a real early episode, is a big thing with ASD. Like a lot of ASD people who don't get the right accommodations or lose them early on, like sort of like me, when we reach adulthood, we go through those burnout. You know what I mean? Because the brain is just mismatched expectations and all sorts of stuff causes the brain to just need to reset.
Right. I don't know if this, I'd be interested to know if this is common. I feel like it is, but this is just my own perception. That, like, I would much rather focus on a project than a continued project. Does that make sense? Like a short-term project, like get in, get out.
Yeah.
As opposed to, all right, for the next 4 years, we're gonna be working towards this goal.
Yeah, and I'm like that too. Like
I've got 2 weeks to reach a goal. Let's get after it. Okay, what's the next goal? Okay, what's the next thing?
Yeah, and that's the same thing with me. I don't like what I do to deal with that is I have like a dual schedule during the day where I just switch between different things. Like 1 minute I'm working on my history machine episode, which I'm still working on. It's coming along good. And another minute I'm working on like social media content. And finally I switch to like album stuff. And it's just those 3 throughout the day. You know what I mean? And that just keeps my mind from going. It's crazy from just sticking on one subject for too long. You know what I mean? That's not like a fixation of mine.
Yeah, for me, I start off that way, like multi-directional, but then I find that my efficiency comes into play when I focus on one.
Yeah.
How about you, Sam?
Sorry, I zoned out.
Yeah.
It happens.
Come back to us. Sam.
Come back to us.
What are y'all
Sam.
talking about?
We're talking about 2-year, 4-year degrees, and our approach to just projects and tasks. And Josiah was saying that he's got three things that he's focusing on right now,
Yeah,
all at the same time. And I was saying that I
I'm all
start
over
off
the
that way,
place.
but I find that my efficiency and my best work comes when I focus on the one project and get it gone.
So I'm still very much on the journey of figuring out what's up with my head in terms of the labeling of the Western medical world, if that's possible. But currently I'm kind of under the idea that I'm potentially ADHD and autistic slightly, and that presents itself in unique ways because I'm not always ADHD and I'm not always autistic, and I have some good things from both and some of the negative things from both, and sometimes it depends on my stress level as to what will be more prevalent. And so I'm still learning that. I've started new medication to help with the ADHD side. That's really helped me with getting over the initial, and I'm not sure which side it comes from, but my hoarding tendency of and locking down of not, I know what needs to get done, but I can't do it. And it's I feel lazy almost, but it's not because I'm lazy. It's just I have no energy to do it. There's just no, I want to do it. I need to do it. I recognize it. It's just, where's the energy to do it kind of thing. And so this medication is really helping me get in that frame of mind of doing more things. So I'm noticing an increase in productivity, and so I'm really just a little it brings up emotions of shit, why wasn't I on this stuff 20 years ago?
Yeah.
When I was in college, or better than that, 25 years ago when I was going into high school.
Yeah.
How radically different would my education experience have been?
Yeah.
Had this been a more talked about, a more known, there's still a social stigma.
Yeah.
I can't talk about it in my family with most of my family members because they don't even want to consider being autistic.
Yeah.
And that's odd,
Yeah, that's odd.
But I see it rampant on my dad's side. Don't know my mom's side as well, but I see hints of other, over there too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just kind of, it's still one of those up and coming things that, I feel like it's one of the social benefits of having TikTok and the Instagrams and, the social videos, because that's honestly how I've connected to social personalities that are autistic.
Yeah, and shows like this where we're doing a tiny part to normalize.
Yep, destigmatize.
Destigmatize.
Show
Yes.
also the range.
Yeah.
Range.
I mean,
The radical difference of people that are still influenced or marked by the same condition is it? What do you call it? Is it a condition? It's not a condition. What do you describe it as? This that fall under this descriptor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when it comes to, talk about social stigmas and pressures and things, tying it into employment. As an autistic adult, I'm aware of I'm more aware of my strengths and my weaknesses. You go into a job interview and they always say, what are your strengths and weaknesses? Well, you don't want to put your weaknesses out there because you don't want to scare them off. And so, but if we were honest about our weaknesses, I find more so now, I work for myself, which I highly encourage artists to do.
Yeah, me too.
All three of us are pretty much self-employed.
You kind of have to be in a degree.
And we can talk about that some more. But if you go in as an employee, I find that it's my responsibility to identify opportunities that fit in line with my strengths, and where my weaknesses aren't going to be an issue.
Yes, and I agree with that too. And it's a funny thing you bring up employment on the sheet. I had some statistics, or at least statistics from one study about employment and autistic people, because we're in like, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Anyway, so let me read from this real quick.
Hit us with some facts.
Yes, I'll hit you with the facts. Anyway, a study done, so according to this, a study done over the course of 8 years up to 2024 about autism and employment with about 2,500 autistic adults showed that that adults with fewer autistic traits, younger age, according to the study, male, and higher educated, later diagnoses, and no co-occurring condition were more likely to have stable employment versus people with more autistic traits in the opposite of these things, which I do find really. And I'll give my 2 cents on that. It's easy to see why employers might be like hesitant to hire people who have more symptoms and stuff like that. One big reason I can think about the head is accommodations. Because, like, when it comes to employing someone with disabilities and including ASD, you have to accommodate them. You know what I mean? But the problem with accommodations is they normally take time and money, and businesses out there trying to earn money. You know what I mean? They're trying to earn and save money so they can reinvest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, as an undiagnosed, I can't expect anyone to accommodate me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a frustrating thing.
I've never really asked for accommodations
I don't.
from my employers.
If I were to go back into education, pursue a postgraduate, I would try to pursue what is it called? A diagnosis first, so that way I could go back into the education world with the appropriate accommodation for things like tests and
Right.
Yeah.
removing the time limits and distractors and things like that.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, and what's crazy is that they can be so small, but so impactful.
Oh yeah, they can be
Like, you know, for my son, we figured out 3rd grade that noise sounds were a major distraction for him. Like pencil on paper, you know, just
Sometimes it's certain sounds, yeah,
or murmuring
or certain frequencies that are triggering.
For me, it was the same thing at school. I'd be distracted by everything. Like, I'd be just distracted by the textures on the wall. Like, I'd be looking at them, observing the patterns instead of focusing on the teacher trying to teach me math.
When I was in elementary school, they changed my 2nd grade classroom lights out from regular light bulbs
to fluorescence.
to fluorescence.
Yep. And you start getting headaches, or
Oh, for sure.
you know,
I hated them. They were too bright and they were way too loud. They
made that buzzing
Yeah,
noise?
they had a slight buzz.
yeah,
wow.
the
And I was
buzz,
just
the buzz
like,
that
I couldn't stand it.
yeah, the buzz that regular people
So
don't
school
hear,
was agonizing.
Yeah.
and then they wonder why you're acting out.
Why I was acting out, yeah, because
Yeah.
quiet times were quiet for me.
You know, and if you take a job, say you take a job at Walmart, they ain't gonna make accommodations for that. You know,
Actually,
not gonna
Walmart probably would on
Yeah,
certain things. No, they're not going to change the light bulbs,
Yeah, but
but they might allow me to wear a hat because that
For sure.
helps me with the being around fluorescence.
yeah, Walmart's one of those companies that probably makes some accommodations for people with disabilities.
Also, the newer bulbs I have a lot less, like the new LEDs, I don't have issues with. It's a pure spectrum, and I guess maybe it doesn't flicker. Maybe the LEDs flicker at a constant rate, whereas the fluorescents were too random, maybe,
yeah,
and they don't have the ballast noise.
Yeah. That's right. Modern lights are way better than older lights. They're brighter, they don't make noise, and they consume
I hated
less
the
energy.
lighting of the 90s and 2000s. Oh my gosh.
I remember. I don't
The
remember.
fluorescent era and the CFL era.
I don't remember the lighting of the 90s, obviously, because I was born in 97, but I do remember the lighting of the 2000s, and oh my goodness, man, it was bad. And everything, not just regular lightings, but even in electronic devices, like flip phones had terrible screens. Even my Game Boy Advance, my first Game Boy Advance didn't have any lighting on the screen.
Ooh, with the rise of AI, we should have more neon artists.
Neon artist, yeah.
We should be decorating everything, you know?
Yeah, make everything look like Cyberpunk
Yeah,
2077.
we should be doing that, you know? Occupier times, maybe.
Yeah, I mean,
Fun fact, I may have shared this before. But
Fun fact.
Fun fact, and Sam, you have Google in front of you, but I believe I've heard it said that the highest or the largest population of autists in the United States are located in Silicon Valley.
sounds about right.
No, I could see that.
Yeah.
I also feel like though that there's a higher percentage in California and West Coast in general because they're more open to talking about mental things, and they have more psychiatrists, and they have you know that whole Hollywood mindset of everybody has a therapist and
and their accommodations and their
and they accommodate for everything.
and the therapies and things are probably
You
a
know.
lot a lot further along than
Isn't
the rest
that
of
where
the
they were
country.
putting litter boxes out for kids? I'm just kidding. I
What's
don't
with
think
that?
that was ever validated. I was just like, that's a
Sounds like some urban
Now,
myth.
there are immense upsides to artists when it comes to employment in that they tend to be hyper-focused. You know, so you give them something that, put them on a job that interests them,
And they will.
and they will focus on that. They take little breaks. You know, the only time they'll break is for a bathroom.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like,
They're
Yeah.
gonna become experts most likely at whatever you're doing.
Oh, for sure.
yeah,
Like when I worked part time at James Avery, I could go in about every gemstone we offered, how it was made. I knew their metals, their materials. An info dump on you.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, I think the key is to position artists.
You got to
To their
find
strengths.
something, that is able to be part of their that allows them to hyper focus on it a little bit, you know.
yeah,
But they also still, you know, just like everyone else, they need to feel supported and they need to feel encouraged. The downside is that they are more susceptible to reading discouragement or reading
True.
criticism when there maybe not isn't, or if you are criticizing them, it's going to hit them harder.
Yep.
So you gotta, be aware of that. I think a little bit.
yes,
Otherwise, you're just gonna have to deal with blow-ups, or it's just gonna. And that's one reason I feel like it's harder for artists to have regular jobs dealing with people is because of the social aspect of it.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's where some accommodation, I feel like, if you're going to use that word, is really aptly potentially needed. Is you just need to, you need to almost handle them with a pair of gloves or a different pair of gloves than you normally would someone else.
yes, exactly. Yeah,
So, if you have an artist in your family that struggles with that, like the social interaction side and things,
Yeah, get them drunk.
I don't,
I'm sorry. We
I
have
don't know
open
if
mic
that would
comedy
work.
tonight, so I'm working on trying to be funny. I don't know if that's. Don't get them drunk.
I just don't
Yeah,
know.
don't.
That would be not a good time for almost everybody involved.
nope.
Imagine an artist having a drunken meltdown.
Except for potentially the oddest.
I
It
don't-
depends on how they.
I don't. That's why I never drank alcohol. I've never drunk an alcohol intentionally in my life.
And why is that?
The main reason why is because I just don't like the literally 2 times I've ever had alcohol in my life, which were accident. I didn't like it. It was just the taste. Was like, I don't like. Why are people drinking this? What tastes like liquid metal? I don't know.
That's the formaldehyde,
But yeah, I don't
so
know.
I'm told.
I like to be in control of what I'm doing.
Oh,
And
yeah,
so
that too.
I rarely get drunk, and I don't like babysitting other grown-ups
I
that
hate
are drunk.
babysitting drunks.
I hate babysitting.
I
drunks.
got out of owning a bar.
Like, let's go to the bar. Okay, well, then they get
Few
drunk,
hours-
and I'm left
Few
holding the bag
hours
of
later. Yeah,
holding
it's
the bag, holding the responsibility of getting everybody home safe or not having the police called. And it's like,
See, I couldn't even.
I didn't sign up for this.
Yeah, that'd be goofy,
Did
man.
not sign up for this.
Anyway, where are we, Sam? In time.
Oh,
25 minutes.
you know, the year of the dragon, so I'm told. Let's see, where is the streaming counter? We are at no idea.
Oh, we're at about 40.
40. Let's spend the next 5 minutes wrapping this episode up then.
Okay.
Hey, we have 4 people watching right now. Apparently,
That's
yeah, we're
awesome.
at 40 minutes. It says.
Okay, good.
All right. So I want to talk about, so if you have an artist in your family that struggles with the social interactions, maybe they're young or they're teenagers, not quite employment age, and I know for our family, my kid's 16, a concern for us is, how we're going to get him into the workforce, start
Socialize
driving
them
and
young.
things. But I want to recommend self-employment. I think in this day and
that's a
age,
good route, but I feel like it's important to potentially work for others just to learn
absolutely.
certain, and to have the motivation of why am I working for myself? That's my biggest is like I don't know if I can stand to work for anyone else again.
Yeah.
It's just I've done that like in a couple of different environments, and it doesn't really work out for me psyche-wise. I would rather be poor and doing my own thing than getting paid well, but dealing with a toxic, or in my mind, a toxic work environment.
Yeah, it's the same thing with me. Like with my music and all that, I do want to earn money, and I'm working to earn money. But I'm not like me knowing my limitations with my autism and stuff. I wouldn't put myself in a position just for a lot of money, but that position be like real toxic or dangerous and destroy my health. Because what good is the amount of at least what good is money in my opinion if your mental health is gone?
Yeah, if your mental health gets shot because of it.
Yeah.
That's my opinion on it.
It's more important to like make strides, towards forming a community. I feel like, and a support group especially if you're an autist.
Yeah.
So that way you have a feeling of connection.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know.
As a parent of an artist, I feel like I have a big part of my responsibility as my son's parent is to encourage his creativity, help him navigate his weaknesses and strengths, strongly encourage the strengths, be honest but friendly with the criticism, and to improve weaknesses, to develop weaknesses, turn them into strengths, and then one day he will be, and expose him to real world situations. Mm-hmm. I'm not keeping my kid in a bubble.
Yeah, definitely, and I agree with that, Tim.
That's just my 2 cents on that.
Yeah. Well, anyway, what are your plans? So we're gonna wrap this episode up anyway. What are your plans for the next week, Tim?
Next week, I'm still working on
Thursday.
this. Still working on this video. I'm very close to wrapping it up. I shot a time lapse sunrise yesterday morning for it.
Where were you at?
I was at the food bank of West Texas.
Oh, okay. Shoot it up their building, kind of.
Yeah.
The sunrise?
Yeah. My wife did a mural, 100-foot by 15-foot mural.
That's awesome.
It's beautiful, and it faces east.
Inside, outside.
Outside.
It faces east.
Faces east, so
amazing.
when the sun comes up, like that golden hour in the morning, it looks really good.
You have that posted anywhere at the moment?
The mural is.
Oh, but not the
the video will be ready Monday, I think.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's
I'm very
awesome.
close to finishing it up. I've got several other projects I'm working on. My daily bread is media conversions, like tapes, discs, and reels. converting them
Tapes,
to digital.
discs, and reels. If you have an analog videotape,
Give
it
it
is
to
not
Tim.
safe.
Is it? It's not. It's not safe.
It's not safe.
from fire or
they-
water damage.
It's not safe from fire, water damage, but also VHS tapes deteriorate.
Yeah,
They
They
do.
demagnetize over time. And so, I mean, the quality is already degraded if it's over a certain years old. That
Yeah.
just happens. And if you don't want to lose that content completely, get that analog stuff over to Tim now to get it
Tim right
digital.
there. Get it over to him.
Yeah, I call them time capsules, and I have the keys.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I treat
Yep.
the memories as important as you do. So, but that I've got close to 100 tapes on my desk that came in the past few days. So that's good. It's good. It's great.
I need to start digitizing some of my old tapes.
I don't have any content that need. Well, maybe I have some old pictures and some boxes that need to be digitized, but that's about it. I don't have any film that I know of that needs to be digitized.
Yeah.
But yeah, if any of y'all guys have any content you need digitized, like old films and whatnot, Tim's the man.
He's the man.
The
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, I'm really proud of what I'm able to do with your tapes.
Anyway, and as for me, I'm just going to be working on my album the next week, trying to get as much finished as possible. It's going to be a 10-song album again called Abstract, and it's going to all songs original from scratch. And I'm also working on my History Machine episode 2.
Yep, and that's coming along.
Yeah, it's coming along real good. I got the whole episode compressed from the hour-and-a-half video shot we did for it into 15 minutes, yes. And right now I'm just looking for pictures, newspaper screenshots, and little video clips if I can find them to put in the episode.
Very good. Sam, what you got?
I've got open mic comedy tonight that I will be working.
Cool.
And then nothing scheduled this weekend, I don't think, except for Songwriters Open Mic on Sunday.
Sam also, besides Neon Parrot Live, he also has Majestic Coffee, right?
Yeah, we got Majestic Coffee
Right next door.
Come next door, get yourself a tasty coffee, a tasty treat. Help us support the cause, grow the community. Come talk with us. Come say hi. Josiah's in here almost every day.
Mm-hmm. Hello.
I'm sure he'd be more than happy to info dump on you.
Yeah, and if you come in during one of the live,
Yep, every
Live
Thursday we
opportunity.
podcast, so you're welcome to come in. We have a couple podcasts we're doing right now, at least, this one, which is every other week it seems like now?
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
And then there's Travie Wabby, which is every Thursday.
yep,
Breakdown with Ben is still on a break.
hiatus, yeah.
We're on a break with Breakdown and with Ben, but we hope to get that going again at some point in the near future.
Yeah.
We're planning some stuff potentially on the road, maybe for this summer.
Yep. So come in, get a coffee, and
Get a coffee.
if there's a live show going on, come and be a part of it. We
Or
love
if you
it.
want us to do a live show,
Oh, yeah.
come talk to me.
Definitely. Yeah. Come talk to Sam about a live show. Come to the open mic comedy night tonight. And every Sunday, of course, we have singer-songwriters open mic here. So come to that, too. Anyway, this was a good... What did you think about this episode of MCJ's Rizzism, Tim?
I think we've had a good chat.
Good chat. Anyway, if y'all guys like this episode, leave a comment, like, subscribe, share the episode, and we'll see you in another episode of MCJ's Rizzism. Peace.
Expressing myself loud. I'm only trying to let you inside of my brain now. So I am here now. I'm trying to cry out to autistic individual that's full of pain now. So I am here now. Expressing myself loud. I'm only trying to let you inside of my brain now. So I am here now. I'm trying to cry out to autistic individual that's full of pain now. Back to my mental universe. Now I'm gonna spit about through this verse where it goes really far to Alpha Centauri and Orion stars. Flying in a car, time machine, visit an ancient Rome to sightsee to the norm innovation of